Hey everybody, it's Nikki with Delicate Tension Tarot. First off, sorry for not being around for the month of January. The energy was super intense and it just did not feel right. I'm sure if you've watched the other videos by now, you've already heard me go through the whole spiel. So yeah, I'm back now, albeit a little late. Once again, it's, one of those months where things just kind of crawl really slowly, or I just get caught up with other things. I do have a busy life on top of trying to get these videos in, so I try to do the best that I can. So overall, sorry for being late. It's, February 12th by now. So we have, 17 days left this month since it's a leap year month this year. And we'll have the extra day. But yeah, I'm back. This will be a video for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or if you just have a lot of Virgo placements in your chart. I always use the example that I have 4 to 5 placements in Sagittarius, so I embody a lot of that energy. So watching Sagittarius readings sometimes is very helpful for me. Also, Cancer is in all of my love planets and asteroids. I think I have it in my Cancer, Chiron, and my Juno, which is very interesting. So yeah, it's always good to look at your chart. You can get a free chart if you know your birth time. It's preferable to know it at cafeastrology.com. So go ahead and try that to see what you need to focus on. And yeah, I'm sorry if I'm a little spacey. I've been working all day and it's, almost 9 o'clock now, and I've been up since 7 o'clock this morning, so I'm just going to do the best that I can. Let's see, what is it that I'm like? Maybe you guys feel spacey right now too. That could also be another thing. Or maybe you guys just feel like there's a lot to focus on or a lot going on that it's hard to actually pinpoint or focus on one specific thing. So let's get started. Oh, by the way, we do have Mercury going retrograde this month on the 16th. Happy Valentine's Day. So there could be a lot of, issues overall. The shadow period we're in right now, I always say that the shadow periods are oftentimes worse than the actual retrograde period. Just take time to double check everything. Look really deeply in any commitments that you are either thinking of making or kind of being led into making. Take some time to think about them before you actually commit to them. And as I always say, just go with the flow. Whatever happens, just take it as it comes. I think the last retrograde period, my phone died on me the night before the actual retrograde started. And I had to order a new one to be sent, and then that one crapped out on me within a month in the same retrograde period. So I had to get it sent out, and it was just a big conundrum. But at the same time, I just went with it, right? And when I went with it, I had unexpected resolutions or, happy circumstances take place. So just go with the flow the best that you can. And now we will get started with your reading. So what's going to be happening for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for the month of February? We have the Page of Wands, so there could be some news coming your way. Good or bad, it is what it is. It could be perceived as bad news at first, but it might actually be a very positive thing in the long run. Let's see what's blocking you. There also could be some new territory that you're wanting to set out on. You could be experiencing some form of, growth. Maybe this isn't good news. We have the Nine of Swords and the Hanged Man. So whatever this news is pertaining, it actually leaves you feeling quite stressed out and overwhelmed, if not really unsure of what to do, because you're kind of stuck in limbo with not really knowing what you should do. Show me what's happening in the subconscious here. We have the Empress, so the focus could be on yourself. being a mother, wife, parent, boss, leader. If that's not any of those things, you could be focusing on another individual in particular. Could be your mother. Could also be, if you're in a relationship, it could be someone in particular. Let's see what happened in the recent past. I'll take them. Oh, well. Okay. So in the recent past, we have the... I'll just hold them up one at a time. We have the Ace of Swords, truth, clarity, communication. We have the Four of Cups, having to do with something that maybe it gave you clarity surrounding someone's lack of interaction, or maybe it was even clarity around something that you felt about yourself or about a situation. Usually the Four of Cups is a card of someone who can't really appreciate what's being shown to them. Usually because they just assume it's the same old thing over and over again. We have the Five of Cups after that, so it possibly was grieving. And then we have the World, which is overall closure or an ending to something. It was a completed cycle. That could be karmically. That could just be a lesson that was needed to be learned within a certain situation or circumstance. I think you're really, in the past, you really learned as your own personal truth where and what you need to give your time, energy, or attention to. Whether that's a person, a situation, a thought pattern, within work, it could literally be anything. Overall, I think it really just is this feeling of understanding that things aren't going to be the same as they were, which is okay. I actually think you need to look at that in a positive way, because with the Page of Wands is like your central focus, there really is something new on the horizon for you. And I think that thing could really become something, or once the ball gets rolling, you're going to really see why. Nine of Cups wanted to pop out, so I think it's going to be a blessing in disguise. So let's see what's going on as your forefront mind or your higher self. We have the Four of Pentacles, so you could be thinking about finances, you could be thinking about saving up, you could be thinking about how you don't have enough, or you could just be in this mindset of scarcity. Or you just could be holding on to something. I think with what's going on, with what's hindering you and being in this place of being very stressed out and having to think about something, or really, really think about something, you're really just not, it's almost like you're not trying to say too much or do too much too soon. You're kind of trying to hold it down until you can really see the full picture. Let's see what's happening in the near future here. We have the Six of Wands, so there's victory, there's success. Do not be stressed out about this. I think that that's why it's in your hindrance, or what's hindering you, because it's almost like if you can just let go of the fear and let go of like the self-imposed limitations, or feeling like you can't do anything, just let that go and go with the flow of what's happening, and I feel like you'll be more successful that way. Let's see what's going on in your emotions. I'll grab that in a minute. In your emotions, we have the Ace of Wands. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Seven of Cups. And we have the King of Cups. So it's interesting because, like I said, whatever this is, it's new. It's new. It's something that just came in. I feel like things are changing for you. Whether those changes are good or bad are all about perception, right? But I think it's also overwhelming because with the Seven of Cups, it feels like there's a lot of different things to look at and there's a lot of different things to choose from. And you're really going to have to either have someone who's very emotionally stable to help you through this period of time to make a certain decision, or you're going to have to lean on that aspect of yourself. Whether it's your counterpart, whether it's a friend, whether it's a business partner, whether it's literally somebody you go to for advice. This person is very important because they're just very solid emotionally. They don't get overwhelmed too much. They know how to really feel things out and not let it drown them. Let's see what's happening around you. Let's see what's happening around you. We have the Ten of Swords, so there's some endings happening. We also have the Seven of Wands. Someone might be fighting or jockeying for position. And then we have the Three of Wands, where it's somebody is also waiting for a response or some news. This could be, and the Five of Wands, which it looks like you're, because the card that popped out earlier that I put back in was the Three of Pentacles. It looks like you're really going to have to collaborate and work with others in order to get the best resolution or the best outcome. Because what's happening here is, you know, with what's happening around you or outside of you, something's coming to an end either in someone else's life, which is causing a ending in yours, or a change or a transfer in yours. And it's almost as if they could be experiencing retaliation. I'm so sorry if my throat is raspy. I really kind of was quite ill on Monday, and I'm still, you know, even though I've recovered by the next day, I still feel like there's burning incense and stuff. It's kind of irritating for me, so I apologize if my voice keeps cutting out. This person could be having to deal with, I don't think they're dealing with just you. And whatever this news is, it's not like you're the only person that got this news delivered to you. It was multiple people, because there's multiple people kind of having something to say in response to what this person put out there. So they're kind of dealing with all that as well, you know, and they're in a different place or position where, you know, their life is changing too. So they are also looking out into the unknown, being quite uncertain as to how exactly everything's going to play out. So take that into account with whoever you're dealing with. Now with the Five of Wands here, I do feel like there's going to be some issues in terms of, you know, I don't want to say an argument, but it's quite possible that there's going to be people who have various opinions as to what is happening and how it should be handled. I actually feel that quite strongly. But keep in mind, in your near future, you have the Six of Wands, which means you will be successful. There is a successful outcome in this. So let's see what's in the hopes and fears. Hopes and fears is the Two of Wands. It's having to make a choice or decision and not knowing which way to go. For some of you, this could be changing jobs. For some of you, this could be changing locations. For some of you, it could be just overall a change in life that is affecting you on a very, very strong level. So let's see what your far-reaching outcome and overall advice is. What's the far-reaching outcome and overall advice here? We have the Chariot, forward movement. Either way, there's going to be movement. We have the Queen of Pentacles. You probably are going to have to focus on finances or focus on what you're going to do financially in the future. We have the Six of Pentacles. That could be someone either helping you out. I think somebody's going to help you out here. Because with the Six of Wands too, I feel like this person, it's kind of like raining down on the Six of Wands. So I do feel like somebody's going to be helping you in some way, shape, or form here. Whether that's loaning you money, whether that's somebody cutting you a deal. And then we have the King of Wands, so that's decisive action. And we have Judgment, big, big decisions to be made here, and Death around big changes. I think also that you're really having to, I would focus very strongly on not getting too analytical or too overly in your frontal cortex here on how to deal with this, because I almost feel like you're going to have to use your intuition or gut check yourself. Let me check the timer. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and clarify. Let's clarify the Page of Wands here. So we do have the Nine of Wands with the High Priestess. with the Knight of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. So I feel like there might be some fear or concerns here surrounding whatever's happening. It could be fears of being displaced. It could be fears of being left out in the cold, whether that is quite literally or figuratively. But I also want to go back to saying that it's like you're not the only person who is either confronting or dealing with this issue. There's multiple people dealing with this here, because I feel like this person, whoever it is that you're interacting, they're getting it from all sides. They're getting it from all sides right now. Let's clarify the Nine of Swords and the Hanged Man as your block. We have strength. So like I was saying, rely on your strength and rely on your understanding, especially when it comes to the infinity symbol above her head. It's because she understands that everything is constantly changing and moving and going in cycles, and that change really is the only constant. So sometimes you really have to call upon your strength and grace and dignity to really move through life's changes, no matter how difficult they might be. Let's clarify the Empress. We have the Queen of Pentacles, so I do feel like this is you, right? Could be a mother, could be a wife. You also could be a businesswoman. You could just be somebody overall who is thinking about where you're going, what you're doing, how you're planting those seeds, and what's going to happen to them, if they're going to be fruitful or successful. Let's clarify the Ace of Swords, Four of Cups, Five of Cups in the world in the recent past. We have the Queen of Swords. So there could have been some very harsh, quite literal truths that were spoken, or very strong realizations that were made about things that needed to change in life, or just that there were really big changes around, you know, maybe a life that wasn't very fulfilling for you, and then these big changes came, but at the same time you were grieving or mourning the loss of something, and you just really had to see that that's okay. And with that, the chapter closed out, right? And you can see the beauty in change in a very logical way. Because it wasn't a very spiritual thing for you to look at this in the way that you did. You weren't looking at it in a spiritual way. But I also feel like in some ways you were. Because on the top of her sword, she has this little butterfly. And she's just kind of looking up at it. And I feel like it's just about the whole cycles of life, right? There's something about cycles here. Everything changes. Although change can be quite hard. And maybe that's where the Four of Pentacles is coming in up here. So let's clarify the Four of Pentacles. We have the World. Changes are hard, and sometimes you have to let go. And if you don't let go, and if you don't open up to changes, you're never going to see the possibilities of like what could be. And I feel like that's what's happening here. It's almost like you're being pushed in a direction of seeing what could be, what can happen, and you just let go. Let's clarify the Six of Wands here. We have the Tower. There is going to be unexpected success and victory in this situation. Please listen to me when I say that. I think you're so caught up and worried about what's going to happen. Don't get stuck in that, because there's a lot, I think there's a lot of beauty coming your way, and I think there's a lot of really great things. There's a reason why this is happening. And like I said, I think it's because change is needed right now for reasons that you can't understand. Let's clarify the Ace of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, Ten of Pentacles, endings. There are things changing for a reason. Maybe it's actually so you can discover more comfort in your life. Maybe whatever it is, whether it's a job transition or a relationship transition, or an actual literal, you know, transitioning from one home to the next. There's something very positive here. Let's clarify the Seven of Cups and the King of Cups. We have Justice. There's also something about karma here. The essence of what goes around comes around, or that all things are being balanced out right now. The scales are being balanced out. And I do feel like it will end up being in your favor. Let's clarify the Ten of Swords, the Seven of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Five of Wands. So we have the Nine of Cups, we have Death, and we have the King of Cups. So somebody, quite literally, like I said, whatever this person is that's around you or that you're dealing with in the specific situation, they're experiencing a major change in their life. They could be older, which means, 50 or older. Yeah, I want to lean back in 40 or older. But they're experiencing a big transition and change, but it's something that they're really looking forward to. And it's almost like to get to what they're looking forward to, they have to kind of deal with this shitstorm first. Let's clarify the Two of Wands and the hopes and fears. We have the King of Wands. So yeah, it's being afraid to make that decision and to take that action because it's a big decision. Let's clarify the Chariot. We have the Eight of Cups. It's having to leave something behind. Maybe where you've been, it's been 8 years. Eight days, 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years. 8 years is pretty far reaching, but it looks pretty big. It's having to let go of memories of where you once were. I think it's good. I think whatever this is, it's good. Let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune, it's everywhere. These are cycles and changes that are positive for your growth. Please believe that. Let's clarify the Six of Pentacles. We have the Empress. So I do feel like you're going to be receiving assistance and help. And the King of Wands, cooperation and teamwork with the Three of Pentacles. I'm telling you, I think that there really is going to be a positive outcome in this. You're experiencing this change because you need to. And that is easier said than done, right? It's really hard to move through the changes as they're happening because sometimes it's very, conflicting and it gets us in this weird mood and we go through this whole experience of, the highest highs and the lowest lows and it feels quite manic. But these changes that are coming in, you're being moved and propelled in a different direction. Even if it's a direction that's very short in distance, right? It could be far. It could be going to a different country for another job. It could be going to a different country just to relocate. It could be within the same country, different state. It could be within the same city. But there's something here about transitioning. And it's very interesting to me because this is one of the few readings I've had so far that doesn't look like it's involving a relationship. This looks very central focus. I mean, it does look like it could be affecting more than one person, but the focus itself is not on a relationship. This is on a situation or circumstances happening to you at this point in time. But these are very positive changes. I think the way that you view yourself is changing. I think the way that you view situations and circumstances is different. I think that your perspective is totally shifted from the way that it was in the past, but I feel like it's because you did the work. And because you've done the work and because you've allowed these changes to take place, even though you're still having a hard time letting the little last bit go, it's very positive. It's very karmic. It's very necessary. And understand that you're not the only person going through these changes. You're going to have help. You're going to have assistance. Everything is going to be fine. Wow. Okay, it's going up in smoke. This is the deck of character. It's an amazing deck. You can literally look it up online. It's super fun. Play it with your friends. Play it by yourself. It's really amazing. Hannah's a beautiful, beautiful, and amazing person. You got the Grim Reaper card. You got smoke. So it's literally going up in smoke, right? You have gold mine, though. There is so much that's coming to you because of this change. You have blood, so it might take a little work. And then you have mountains, and it might have some difficulty in place, but you can do this. I think really this is about birthing something new through fighting your demons. Maybe whatever this is it's bringing up some demons for you. It's bringing up some really difficult, tough stuff that maybe you haven't digested before. Maybe there's fears coming to the surface, and I do feel like there are. But you have to trust and understand that everything is going to be okay. Yeah, this is an opportunity to look in the mirror and to really see what's there. Because I think at the end of the day, you'll notice that you're surrounded by love. All right, Virgo, this is actually a really great reading. I can see why there could be some nervousness. Angsty Teen wanted to come out, which is really funny, and Wild Woman. So while it may have you feeling a little unhinged and may have you feeling like you're going to lose your mind, this is going to be fantastic. I really want you to trust this, and I just really encourage you to let go, because I think what is on the other side of this has much more potential than you could ever imagine. So like, I love this. This is fantastic. If you need help, ask for help. Keep that in mind too, okay? So, all right, Virgo, thank you for joining me. This has been a pleasure reading this. I actually really, really love this reading for you guys. Sorry, my voice is cutting out. This is fantastic. So yeah, stay tuned for next month. I will be back. I'll probably start recording those next week. And take care of yourselves. Go with the flow. Just let it go, man. Just let it go. This is going to be awesome. All right. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys next time.